Hello everyone, welcome aboard to our fleet assessment. This is a turning corner of what we have on the MBTA fleet game. So what we're going to do is we're going to assess. Let's see, we're going to go into our list. Hello, that bus and train boy 2025. Welcome to our fleet assessment. So what we're gonna do is and now we're gonna take the so this is where so what we're gonna do for fleets in order to make honestly a more realistic experience. There's the wind yarn, so it's up with that. Signal problem growth. Alright. So what we have is what we have on mode. So first we're going to look at the commuter rail train sim world. Then we're going to look at the subway routes. Then we're going to look at the bus. The ferry, we don't really do water transportation. But if we have the appropriate vehicles and we can find a way to do it, then yeah. Because there's not really a way to simulate boats well. There's an Omni-2 boat option, but it's only good if it's AI, so we're not going to create the full route. Let's just go create the pop-ins and outs. So what we're going to look is at the commuter rail first. So the maps are developed by Tokyo Games, so we have the full Boston to Worcester map. We have the full routes, both directions. We have the Providence line. You have the Providence and Stoughton line, end to end. Hello, Naji, welcome aboard. Hello, everybody around town, welcome aboard. So basically, we have both Providence, Stoughton. So we have Providence, Stoughton lines. You can technically run a short-term service to Raidville. So you can do half of the Franklin line just to operator changeover. Same thing with the Needham line on Forest Hills, just do an operator changeover, but that's highly unlikely. You have trains to Redford Junction, but however, it's not in this game, but in Train Sim Classic, there's a Boston to New Haven fan-made add-on, third-party add-on, and does include the commuter rail, so you have that in that sort. So that's a service that you can drive. So you have the full Providence, Wickford line, Stoughton branch, Worcester line, and in my version of Train Sim World, I have just a makeshift commuter rail from Boston to Quincy Center, but the line needs heavy work, and the rails are not done that well. So what we're gonna do, since we're focusing on vehicles and somewhat routes, So the routes are predefined. The routes are predefined, so we're not going to touch the routes in Train Sim. As for commuter rail, because I haven't worked on anything else. That's one for the south side. North side. Let's see. Free roam. As for the north side, not sure what we can do, but we have the appropriate rolling stock to run all the services. We can run all the services with the stock that we have. Even though that we don't have the BTC1 A's and B's and whatnot, you can use the MBB cars, the CCC1Bs as a replacement. So this is your CC. Alright, so yes. Your dirt cab car. Oh yeah, so the GP40 MC. So this is no longer it. So we don't have the GP40 MC, but we can substitute it for now with the F59 locomotive. That's a good substitute for now. We got the mods. Let's see. That's 66. That's a heritage. F42C modded 3 is from the mod 3C. That's the old version. Got your HSP. You pretty much got your MBTA fleet over here. Customs. Have a lot of customs. So you have your, don't forget the classic Screamer. Well, the game crashed, but yeah, that's your MBTA fleet. Yeah, this is so I'm running this on my older computer. I have a second-day computer. Yeah, this one's getting old. I had this one since 6 years old. That's besides the point. So, Train Sim Classic. Alright, so that's our commuter rail fleet. Only thing that we don't have is just basically that's your main commuter rail fleet. That's what we can do. The Wickford Junction extension, it could be done by a similar looking F40 common cars. So, hello, Malik. When will you ever go to North Station? Yes, we can see what we can do with that one. Alright, so we covered our commuter rail. We saw all the locomotives before the game crashed out. So now for our subway lines. So for our subway lines, the orange line and blue line are perfectly represented in OpenBVD. The routes and the trains, you pretty much get it complete. The only downside with the routes that you can only use them in run direction. Alright, so blue line. So this is our red. But yeah, I'm going to show you what we have with the green line. Let's go show you one train because going to Seashore, the blue and orange lines are the same. But yeah, so blue and orange line, you see the orange line streams. You basically have a route from end to end, but only goes in one direction. Which is unfortunate, but it's whatever. Hello, transit enthusiasts. Roblox, welcome aboard. Let's see. Green line. So for the green line is a somewhat complicated story. Alright, here's the blue line. You got your hawker. You got your hawker cars. 4-car set. They always ran 4-car sets. You can also, let's see, you can drop your pencils. I didn't mean to drop them, but that's not best besides the point. Right, so that's your blue and orange lines. Well, so we had a side project. So the blue line also exists in OMSI, but the trains in OMSI, they don't really run that well. Yeah, I tried multiple things to correct. Well, I'm just going to show you a demonstration because I have part of the red line built. Oh, yeah, that's funny. The roll sign on that model does not work. So yeah, now our next stop will be the green line. Green line. So the green line route, it's not really a route that I have. It's just like, it's just a pre-existing route and it's modified for fun, but it's not actually to scale. But there was another, and it's not really a blue line route, but I'll show you. But there's blue line trains that run in it, but it's not as. This is like a quick build. It's crazy that they want to do things quickly. Okay, that's right. Let me say red line. So that's a project that I'm working on. So I was like doing my assessment on. So this is what I'm doing the route assessment, so I can determine what I can do for the projects. So blue line, orange line. If I were to make them in trains, it's not really a priority. I'll show you. And let's log into an existing session. Yeah, it's whatever. The purpose. Let me show you the purpose of this. Alright, so what we have, we're going to do green line fleet assessments. So orange line is good. You don't have to see RCs, but that's another story. We'll go to the yard. And this is just a fictitious yard. It's supposed to represent a thing, a branch. Alright. For Thomas, we're just going to use Trains 2019. Obtain new error. So I'm going to build my models to be 10 plus. Not for Trains 22. So what do we have here? There's a random goods van, just for giggles. Nah, we're not here for Thomas today. You know that these coaches look. Diesel 10. Oh, that's where I get distracted. Alright, here for MBTA vehicles. We have some honorable mentions. We have the blue line car. And it's unrealistic. Well, it's a good placeholder for now. This is a reskin. The signs do not work. 57. And this is my attempted reskin. Cars drive very similarly. And these are berry pink. So much blue on this one. But I think these are just our series reskins. So M. Trent says, how do you feel about the Thomas and Friends DLC? So I'm really opposed to it, but I'm not buying the 80 anniversary stuff. I think that's a bit asking too much. Purple line, yeah, I used to call it purple line. But now because Content can be rubbing is actually, yeah. 12s. Only thing I have the 12s in, I have it in OpenBVE. So I have the 12s and the 600s, the Hawkers, in OpenBVE. Well, not in trains. But this is just our honorable mentions. Double-ended. This is... It's not really... It's supposed to represent the Type 5s. Well, let's see if it does. It doesn't... Double-ended. Maybe TF7. It's not really the actual paint scheme, but this is an honorable mention. Alright, so... Type. Alright, so this is what we have that's actually realistic. Let's go into here. Boeing LRV. That's made on constant. So this is the Boeing LRV before the rebuild. The model's actually pretty decent. So we have the rolling stock for the green line. It did come with PCCs. order. Let's see. PCC. So I made my own subclasses of PCC. I have my all-electric class PCC. I just made a reskin with the appropriate numbering on the back. So that's my all-electric PCC. And now I have my war-type PCC. This is not the original paint, but this is the one that you use on the map hand line nowadays. And the one that came, so I did a repaint of the original. So this is what the original one came in, PCC. Type 5 PCC, so we're Type 5. Oh, it says Type 5. This is not the Type 5. Where's the... Let's need the one in orange. There we go. So this is the one that originally came in this. It was represented as the picture window class, but then I did some repaints and made some subclasses to make the fleet more fun. Hello, JTR Games. Welcome to this. Yeah, we can possibly play a quick game of Vamos. So yeah, these are your subclass of PCCs for the green line. So we can represent the green line. Actually, hold on, if this is the same length. Yeah, it looks like it's the same, pretty much the same length. So if I do a decent reskin on these, I can make this a Type 5 repaint. So this can be our Type 5 representation of the trolleys and other early pieces of streetcar equipment. Then that could be it. Let's do another repaint. Alright, then you have your Type 7. Your as-built, pros rebuilt, which has the appropriate signage, repaint done by me. And this also needs to be updated to the current size. Just whatever. Then you got your 7.5 repaint. Which is pretty cool. Then you got your mutilated Type 8. It's not the best, but the model will do. It's good enough for now. It's up to standard. The only thing is that I couldn't repaint the middle part of that one. But the model is good enough for use, but eventually when my skills get better, I can make an actual better model of this one. But this is a good placeholder for now. And this also has attraction sounds. Such a green line. Type 9s, I'm not sure if... So the Type 9s are a bit complicated because I don't have the traction sounds. I can do the repaint, but... let's say... If I were to make a Type 9 substitute, I would just use some R179 traction sounds. Because this is the closest I can get. Motors. Yep, 143. If I were to make red line cars, I'll just use the same track bogey. I think I have something similar. I have this too. Got the own road numbers and everything. Very good. Alright, that's our full green line fleet. You get your... Apparently these are your elevated cars. Let's just say your miscellaneous cars for the orange line. I do have to. I don't have the R160 for trains because the motor teeth. It takes forever for it to download. But yeah, it's something that's gonna work on. But that's not really pretty. These are the red line cars. Not really. This race against New York trains. See you next stream. So, our green line. That's not really a green line. Up. That's the map. But the map is for a symbolic representation of stuff. Oh. This included GLX. No, that's unfortunate. That's whatever. It's not really just for operational blah blah blah. But yeah, green line. We have the vehicles. We have the vehicles. We can run it. As for the red line. So for red line, for the green line, aspects of the future. We have everything, but yeah, map hand trolley. We have the PCCs that you saw earlier, so that counts. But we don't really have a designated map. The only thing that we have is OMSI. But yeah, let me show you the OMSI stuff now. That's where things really get interesting. So what we're going to do is pop onto my channel. To Metapan. So what we're going to do is going to take a little fast forward ride on the map hand line to see what we have. So alright, so speed, we're gonna speed up. So this is our map hand line. It's a bit sped up, but you get the point. We don't use the actual, we don't have any single level cars representing it. Yeah, but actually, by this time, the third rail has been replaced with overhead wires. And a lot of the line has been fixed. Yeah, Amtrak makes ads. Yeah, it's pretty much the map headline. It's pretty quick. Alright, so yeah, that's the map headline. The routes, it's acceptable, but we don't have the proper rolling stock. But the thing is, I have the trolleys, I have the routes, but they're both in different games, so either one or the other. But for trains, I'm not sure. There is sometimes there's times where the map hand trolley will spawn on the other side, and you can't really do nothing about it. So like the trains in OMSI are not really that reliable. So it means that we need to use another game because OMSI 2 is for buses. Trains in the game, with the exception of trams, are meant to be background vehicles. That means they're not supposed to be the main character of the game. But I failed to realize that when making some of the lines. The map headline is acceptable because it's considered a streetcar map. It's considered a streetcar. But it would be better if I represent the line in trains because it has more train-like aspects. The trams are acceptable for OMSI, but they have trouble spawning in. And it's not really, it doesn't have a really good spawn reliability rate. So, as you may see in some of the streams, because it may spawn in the wrong place. So most of the equipment I'm renting is just reskins, which is not really that realistic. And that's another reason why I halted, put the Orange Line project on hold in OMSI too. It's just the equipment doesn't work well. I can make some background. Machines. Alright, on B2 we have to select routes. But since the map is so large and it takes place in many different areas, I may have to refrain. So what we're going to do is we're going to spawn in the Grendel map. And we're going to go on the MBT website and see what we have for bus routes. So, okay. This is the May 2023. If there's a missing route, I'll just let you know. Yes, it's possible to spawn trains like the Blue Line, but once again, they're German reskins, so that's not gonna be good. So let's see. This is, where's the full document? So I'm looking for the part where it says the route. That's for just. Alright, this is all the route numbers that they have. So I'm going to tell you what's actually completed. Orange line covered. Green line, for green line in OMSI, you got Heath Street to Union Square. So we have SL1, SL2, SLW, SL4, SL5, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 38, 39, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 69, 71, 73. Also, we got the 75 Aberdeen variant. We also have number 5, which is not in here anymore. We got the 27 older versions. Let's see. Got 75. Okay. 89. Davis variant 90. 92, 93, 94, 96, 97. The original 104. The original 109, 110, 116. We got the discontinued 117. We got the 171. Got the 195 that's been discontinued. 201, 202, 210, 211, 215. We got the 212 got discontinued. 214 that got discontinued. 216, 217, 221 that got discontinued. 225, 226, 236 only to Braintree Station. 245. 502 that got discontinued. 54. And the CT3. All the other routes that I have mentioned are either. Oh, excuse me. No. Well, that explains it. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that the routes that I did mention are either under construction or do not exist in the map yet. But that's the truth. So all the routes that I mentioned. Also, there's a bunch of routes that I forgot to mention. 270, 70, 274, 275, 276 are in game. I have all garages with the exception of Lynn built into game. My next stop will be Lynn Garage. So this is what they have for routes. Ferries, I do not have any representation of ferries. The ride. I could try to pull off some sort of ride service. I have to repaint for it. I just need to commission some buses, but I do have Jeeps for the mini cars available. So that's for the routes. Now for the fleet. It's going to be a bit interesting. Original fleet assessment. So here's the changes. So for trains, in the long term, I'm going to make a new Green Line model. New Green Line Type 8 and possibly 9 model, real models, but all the older stuff will stay as is. If there's a minor repaints or minor stuff, I could probably add those. Those are not priority. But the more priority for the green line is making the routes. The blue and orange lines are not very prioritized because of the coverage. So, how are we going to do this? Yes, okay. Since Omni 2 likes to be temperamental and lag. The fish bowls, we can just spawn in a fish bowl. Drive it around. So let's go do a bus from each area. So the RTSs, in my opinion, if they have the technology, so I'm just going to do a fishbowl to represent the older buses. Anything that's standing will probably be changed out later. But yeah, since arms like to be laggy. So anything from the 1990s will not be changed.
Birds.
So any bus from the 1990s era will not really be changed. So we're going to do RTSs. The RTSs are fine. Let's see. The RTS is in my territory. I may have to. Oh, there goes the green show variant. The transmission, I think that's. I have a few little to no things to fix about the RTS. The paints, all the paints have been updated. The numberings that could be done another time. It's not really a priority. It is something that can be done in the future. So let's see. Alright, so these fish bowls, those have already received black wheels. So this is already updated. So no need to do there, and some of them have numbers. The signs, they could be updated as needed. It's not really going to focus on the 90s stuff. I think these got updated. So these are supposed to be the 1982 flyer buses in representation. Those are not actually 1982 flyers. Those are just a write-in stand-ins. I could probably replace those once I actually make a bus for that, so that's not really a priority. But those are for stand-ins. If I really want to do something, I can just use a fishbowl or RTS. But yeah. Here we go. The only thing I had to fix is like the door nailing. It forces you to nail the bus when you do the doors. The reason why this is not moving because there's not enough air pressure, so that's. So that's somewhat acceptable. Paint scheme is now updated. Let's see. This is the original. Let's do the original crosstown. Nope. Yeah, something's wrong with that one. Crosstown. Yeah, that's for. Let's do it. I think something's funky with this model. Okay, so numbers are not good, so yeah, so this model needs to be redone. So the RTSs need to be looked over again, because I tried to move the numbers on here and that didn't go too well. Ended up compromising the whole scheme. So that will need to be revealed. So RTSs need to be, the 1995 RTSs need to be redone. Okay, so we need to fix that one. Yeah, I think all my MBTA specs needs to be revised. I have two specs. All right, so this is another. Okay, that's okay. So that's broken. So I'm not going to use that. Let me take over hauled. I just have way too many RTS specs. All right, that works. Yeah, I think the RTSs need to be redone. Only the 1994-95, the 80s RTSs are fine by my standards. Alright, so this one doesn't need you to nail, so that's why I like these door mechanics. see if this actually moves. There we go. Hello, boss. Welcome aboard. So that RTS passed, so that should be the standard one. So the upper one should be fine. The V something. The suburban one. Let's see what are the specs for this one. All right. Let's see. Yep, old buses doing our fleet assessment. We already did a preliminary assessment of the older buses, and those are not a priority. No! Go! Oh. Okay. I told her to go and it went. Never seen this spec before. Oh, this is the weird spec. Hmm. Yeah, this is a very differently modeled RTS bus. Let's see how it performs. Oh yeah, we're not going to do our own number placing stuff. Let's do this our own vehicle. It's weird, but it's still good. Well, I need to fix my road sign RTSs. Yeah, that's risk. Now we're going to do the New Flyer Low Floor series. I use the MBT spec. Yeah, some of these are broken. Some of them might stay the way they are. Yeah, the 2006 used to be redundant. If I think the older ones can just stay the way they are. It's not really a big deal. Let's see. Yeah. Over the last one. Let's see. I think all the CNG tanks got replaced. Feels weird. Let's compare the buses. Roblox is back online. Oh, what do you mean Roblox is back online? That does look better. Yeah, this one, this. Middle of second window. Roughly. Who has that lie? Yeah, I think the second tank will be realistic. Yeah, so that will be replaced. So make him on my bucket list. OMC, fix RTS, CNG. Alright, so D4LFs. We know. Fix. 6. We all know the nail plans. So the nail plans are in the same stages of production. Next, 2006 paints. We all know that 2006s have to be worked on. Neo plan. Okay, trolley buses need to be. Update trolley. Any update? Few things on the bus. Good for AI, but not for service. So that's the state of the ordinary planes. This is pretty much a D4 RC4 with combo fleet, tanks. Everything else runs smoothly, but what we need to do is to update the Excelsiors. In T4 should see no change. So recently updated the paintwork. Since the C4 lefts are older, I won't update them. The newer buses have slider 10. Alright, so 2014, 2015. Just start with those ones. Because the ones that my friends modded is acceptable for my standards. Alright. Let's enlargen this. And just. Alright. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, that's 2014 has one little thing. That can be the overhauled version. 2015, that will be the overhauled version, of course. Then you have your perspective paint scheme. 2016, 2017. So you update the rosters. 2016, you got your two things over there. So that's up to spec. You got your 60-foot version. You got your CNG version, which is correct. So that's good. That'll be your those are your CNG variants. toward 2019, so I'll still use 2016/2017. Let's take another look at more of my videos. Bus. Yeah, 2021. That's when all the buses were done. Alright, let's see. That's at 1. Let's see, 2019. That's your at set 1. 2019, you got your spec. Let's see. So I'll go do that. Use trans trolleys. I want to see what the rear is of the 2018 series. The 3100s have the thing on the back. Yep, their numbers like that. 1961. Let's see. Yep, all the numbers on the rears of the bus are numbered vertically. Oh, looks like that'll be the 2020 plus spec. Yeah, that would have to be the 1920 spec. On 2019, for example. Spawn in 2019, for example. And for the 2023, I would add the camera in the back. All front specs. And there's your fleet. And the headlights are going accordingly. Newing Sound Excelsiors. What else? The West Philly Transit. Alright. The 60-foot buses might have to be tweaked a little bit, but that should be fine. What? That's what we discussed about in 2014, 2015. But the only so we're only going to change the overhaul version. So this will be the overhaul version, but the non-overhaul version has the old signage, which I can take care of, quote unquote, at a later date. Numbers I can create buds to fix them. $60-foot Celsius. So you got your new lights and your old lights. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, so we got those specs out of the way. I think the 3100s and then 1925 series will be consolidated into one fleet. I think with the exception of the little things on the top, it's the side, so I think I'm going to be the sub-spec paint edition. Yeah, proper light index. Yeah, so that's a good looking series. That's for the good rebuild. This is probably the last bus. Most of the work needs to be on buses, so we're going to run up a pilot map, pilot timetable, with all the changes. Because most of the changes we have would be the Excelsior family. cool thing about these specs, they have the signage in the proper areas. The friend that we're assigned has it. Based off the MT spec, so this is better for my service needs. Amazing. Buses sound good. Recent update to AI list. So, in conclusion, our fleet assessment. We need to work. Most of our attention needs to work on the buses. Red line. It's not necessarily have a train reliability issue. Alright, so for those who say we're going to do an experiment in my regular OMSI world, we're not going to spawn any traffic or anything. I'm going to show you exactly what we mean by train spawn reliability issue. So what we're going to do, we're going to do no lag, AI traffic. We're going to have nothing running. No cars, no traffic. Not even a single human being. No one on the map. Absolutely nothing. And we're going to start by Braintree. Alright, so we're just going to spawn Braintree. After respawn Braintree. Oh, it's nighttime. I don't want that. Noontime. This is not even where we want to be. This is in the middle of Chelsea, so not it's the game's fault, but it's whatever. If you get the rails present in the game, just like not really direct spawn, which is kind of silly. Alright, now let's spawn in the red line. Or, this is what happens when we try to spawn in any subway. I'm going to spawn in the red line train since you can get to spotlight them on the stream. This game is getting slow. You want that bus? Alright, we're gonna spawn MBTA trains. There goes the blue line. Let's see. Spawn for cars of 1800s. Simple enough, right? It's weird, but it will do. Alright, so we have Braintree Busway. Since we're operating on the subway, let's have it spawn at the Braintree point, which is over there. And I'm heading up north towards Alewife. Alright, so the thing is, it spawned us way past the station. In order to show you where this station is, this is where the bus is this is where the train is supposed to spawn. I have a spawn point here. However, the train wants to defy me and spawn over here. First, I think this is our only 4-car set. And AI is not this. Okay, we got 4-car train now. But yeah, it's very dissatisfying to see it. But yeah, this is what I mean by spawn reliability issue. Trains just spawn in the wrong place, wrong direction, yada yada yada. And yeah. Alright, so in conclusion, from our fleet assessment, buses, all the routes are looking good. I just need to build green and red. And probably some northern side commuter rail tracks if warranted on trains or train sim world. Train Sim World looks more appealing, but we need to get some skills for that first. For buses, we need to fix a few bugs here and there. As for the NABA bus, I may have to choose another model. I'll keep that one as a contingency. I think I'll find another model that's been better. But yeah, lots of fixing with the buses. Paints, stuff, you know. Yeah, C&D for the paints fixes. C&D tank. That's it. So basically, and we have to build it up. So basically, this is our full in-depth bus, like vehicle-free assessment. Hopefully we can expand ferry, start paratransit. Similar, obviously. But yeah, this has been a great stream. Thank you for watching. Have a nice night, and see you in the next stream. And this is your fleet assessment of OMSI 2, Train Sim World, and other retro games.